so Autocannon's the Archon adaptive deck here. Let me pull it up for y'all.
Second, Romus Spinax Veilable.
This is this is a name, man. I don't even think this is a matter of a different language. This is just some wackiness.
Yeah, it's a mouthful certainly. I think no matter what language it is.
Yeah. Let's talk through this deck a bit here. Let's.
Okay, we have a mirror matchup in terms of houses.
Wow, actually, yeah, good call there, Freddy. That is absolutely true.
That's interesting. But these decks are they're doing a little bit of a different thing here.
These decks are I feel they're very different. Very, very different actually.
Yeah. So let's once again let's start with Saurian because I think that the difference is most pronounced there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas the last Saurian package we looked at is all about that tribute six Semper Calpigian combo. That's really what that deck wants to do. This deck is more of a typical get creatures on the board and do Saurian creature things with them, I think. You know, you've got a couple Redders and a Senator Shrix along with two Tricerians and a Calpigian Ideal. So this deck, more so than the other deck, really wants those Saurian creatures to stick around and to just keep getting value out of them.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Warding and all of the different effects that you get there.
Yeah, these are the usual suspects you see in the Saurian decks. These horrifying creatures that give you so much value when they sit around, like Paraguardian just warding everything, Legatus Raptor giving you so many uses, right? Raider Gallum making your opponents foraging a nightmare. So, this is, I think, yeah, like you said, very different Saurian lineup. It's just great value, really, really just powerful all around. This is the kind of Saurian lineup that I like to see, man. I like this kind of deck. This is the stuff that I like to play. Shout out to my Italian.
Just give me those tribute six Sempers. I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Taking all of your amber all the time.
You're more interested in winning than playing, Freddy. What the heck?
I'm interested in it. It doesn't mean that I do it very often. But yeah.
Okay, so cool Saurian cards. What about Logos, Freddy? Tell me about Logos.
All right, so looking at Logos, you know, we see again the interdimensional graft here. It's, I think, less impactful because you're going to see a little bit less of the big amber losses in Saurian, right? So you're not going to have 5-10 amber on your creatures generally to take back with interdimensional graft. So not as impactful, I think, in this case. That said, between that, two information exchanges and cutthroat research, and a candle unit and Eddie, you know, this is actually a shocking amount of amber control. The more that I look at in Logos, and everything else is just getting you a little more value, right? You've got your Hapsis and your again candle unit, sanitation engineer, like all these things, and Tau, of course, like letting you draw more cards. And then just to top it off, a Dysania. You know, between Knowledge is Power and Dysania, that'll be an interesting race to see. Or maybe it won't be anything, but interesting that we have both of those cards going up against each other.
Okay. Freddie, it looks like our game is up in the KIP tournaments, but I want to continue to talk about this deck because I think there's a few things. Particularly Dysania. I think Dysania has gained so much over the last printing of Worlds Collide. Logos does a lot of archiving nowadays. It did plenty of archiving before, but you see so many cards like that just give you these little incremental archiving, you know, like Eddie and Tau and all that stuff. And on top of that, you're setting up these 2-card combos that matter so much. Dysania is a way to just say, like, man, go ahead, archive your combos. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop you, right?
Yeah, and anyone who's had that happen knows how bad it feels. You know, it's similar to what we saw with Subtle Maul hitting a big impactful card like Miasma or a Doorstep, something like that. Dysania does it, but even more consistently. You know, because it's unusual for you to put something in your archives that you don't care about. Now, we are looking at a top 8 matchup in Shadows World, so I would not be at all surprised to see these players playing around Desania and really archiving the good, not great cards in their hands. But it'll be something to keep an eye out for, certainly. Logan, can you let me know what game I should be looking for?
Yeah, so a bit of a
Names?
confusion here. We've got multiple Hamburg Atlantean teams. So I saw that they were ready, but it turns out that was the number 1, not the number 2. So
Okay.
right, these Hamburg
Okay, yep.
Atlanteans are just winning too much. They're causing confusion for everybody, guys.
Yeah.
Stop winning so much, please. We're trying to make sense of this tournament, and you guys are just making this way too confusing.
Give someone else a chance.
Yeah, come on, guys.
One other thing to point out that I'm just now noticing. It looks like nope. Sorry, never mind. I was gonna say something completely wrong. So never mind. I just can't read the Dex Keyforge interface. So let's talk a little bit about Untamed real quick because we haven't done that yet. I think there are a couple of interesting cards in this Untamed package. Actually, several that I think are really worth discussing. Starting again with our favorite Nature's Call, but very quickly you see that there's a lot of other impactful board control cards in this Untamed package. So not only do you have Nature's Call, you have Unnatural Selection, which, in my opinion, one of the best board wipes in Worlds Collide. Less impactful, if it's in a Coda package, but when you have Worlds Collide where you care so much about creatures, if I can leave you with 3 really crappy, Explo Rovers and keep my 3 big Saurian guys or Star Alliance guys out who are just going to give me tons of value, that's just a phenomenal play to have, especially when you can combo it with Fangtooth. So you can Unnatural Selection and then make sure that your opponent's creature is the one that dies at the end of their turn and just really take huge control of the board that way. You've got Mystic Mermooks too. Like there's just so much nice control. And on top of it, you've got a Mimicry. So that's obviously not just board control, but Mimicry can be whatever you want it to be, it feels like. Looking at the rest of the Untamed, the creatures, honestly, not too impactful. One interesting synergy, I don't even know if I'd call it a synergy, but something to note is that you have Tantadlin with Desania. So your opponent archive, I should say, is really, really not safe. There's a lot of things that you can do to get rid of your opponent's impactful cards in the archive. So it really becomes a question of if you're playing against this deck, you just deliberately archive bad cards. Right. Do you do that to bait out the Tantadlin fight and just say thanks for helping me get through my deck? Now I don't have to worry about this card that was in my archives. It's an interesting question, and I'll be very curious to see what we see go in those archives.
Right. Freddy, looks like the game is about to be ready here. The game is the Hamburg Atlanteans number 2 versus Autocannons. It doesn't say anything about adaptive, so let me know if you see it. They just drew their opening hands.
Okay. Which one of these? Is it what are the player names? Is it Kiivii or Flippo?
Wait, am I?
Well, let's see. I guess we can figure this out.
Freddie, it looks like there was a bit of a mix-up on the decks. that we were looking at here. So the deck that we're playing is actually not the triple tribute deck. It's the usually dirty. So a bit of a mistake, guys. Sorry, there's a mix-up. But yes,
Okay.
it's Kiivii is the username.
Okay. Okay, so half useful analysis there and half meaningless. But
Yeah,
okay,
Right.
so we see. Boy, we are well underway. We've got a pretty solid Untamed board out already, and going up against a Coda deck. Nope, sorry, an AOA deck.
This is an AOA deck with
AOA.
let's see. Let me talk about the standouts here that I see in Logos. I see 2 Eurekas, so really big Amber Rush there. A couple of helper bots allow for some really good efficiency. Igor and Neutron Shark, huge Logos cards as well. So not a bad Logos lineup there. Mars, we see Marcy's Amber with Orbital Bombardment, a good combo there. Destroy them all, exterminate. This is a really controlling Mars lineup.
Very controlling.
Two Zizek Shockworms, and then a little Brainstem Antenna for some value there. Brainstem Antenna on the Mind Warper would be pretty nasty.
It would be. It looks like we're not going to see that in this game, probably, but maybe he'll play it on the Mind Warper. I think it might be worth it to just put it on the Titan Librarian this coming turn. But
yeah, you're right.
let's see what happens.
Yep.
Going back to this deck real quick, though.
Yep.
One last thing to point out: triple Ronnies, always
Ronnies.
brutal. And that was nifty.
Yeah, Nature's Call his own creatures.
Yep, he gets all the damage off of them and then kills off the Titan Librarian with Mustic Mermook. That was nice. That was a nice play.
Mm-hmm.
Orbital Bombardment here. Really nice value there. Gets control of the board back. Destroy them all here, actually more of a liability than anything.
Right, yeah, he's the only one with upgrades, he's the only one with artifacts, so...
Yeah, that said, you're never sad to have that card in your deck, even if it's not always going to be the best card.
Right.
And we see the Eureka in hand as well.
Yeah, we might see a Logos turn here, Eureka into Neutron Shark. Yeah, so Eureka archives...
What we see.
Unfortunately, awkwardly archives a Logos card, but still good here. Yeah, so Neutron Shark.
A risky run with Eureka.
Yep.
Scientifical hack, it's not a card that you really need to get out of the way.
Ditch it.
It's not integral to this deck.
No.
And we have a pretty gross Shadows turn lined up here.
Yeah, double Ronald. Throwing stars, gonna get some Amber, kill that Neutron Shark, get rid of a ward.
Yep. And, already threatening check, and it looks like there's nothing that Kionerst can do about it. Oh no, he's got information exchange. That's what that card is.
Yep.
And he's better in his archives. So far too soon. Okay, he's in a fine position. Interestingly, he decides to go Saurian.
And he fights
the Neutron Shark.
He fights the Neutron Shark.
I think the only thing I can think is that he really wants to keep his candle unit alive, or something along those lines.
That's a really interesting play.
Yeah.
He's seeing something that we aren't.
Certainly. You don't make it to the top 8 of Shadow Worlds by just fighting things because you like fighting things.
Right.
So Maybe we'll see where he was going with that play. For now, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. And okay, this is cool. The invasion portal with the brainstem antenna is a really neat combo. Um, and interestingly, capturing amber onto different creatures.
Right.
So I'm not sure why he did that. There's no axiom to consider here.
He's gonna destroy them all here.
He does, but he plays it. Okay.
Right.
So this is a really interesting call. I guess he's going to kill the Tantadlin to avoid the cutthroat research.
Yeah, I wonder if that would be the right move. Clearly here would be the right move. Like 7 is the magic number. That's right where you want to be.
Right.
Let's see if he sees that. Have faced this bug before. My antenna is unclickable. Oh, unfortunately we've got a bug here. Is
Unlickable.
unclickable.
Can't lick it either.
Yeah.
Technically true.
You could try.
But okay, this should be pretty easily resolved, I think.
Yeah, I would think so.
Oh. No.
May cause you to use maximum 6 times. I don't quite understand what.
I don't think he realizes that he's trying to destroy it. I think
So he chooses to kill the Paraguardian here.
Paraguardian. Interesting choice there.
Yep.
Okay, but it looks like the game state is good.
Yep. The competitive integrity has been preserved, Freddy. No need to panic.
And that's what's most important.
Yep.
I don't mind that call to play the destroy them all. You know, it's he's gotten most of the value from that brainstem antenna that he can expect at this point.
Right, he's not going Mars anytime soon.
Right, and how many Martian creatures does he even have left to play?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can always use the invasion portal, but do you want to go through half your deck to play it? I don't know.
So interestingly, we see Kionerst hold on to that cutthroat research. His opponent was at 5 amber to start the turn with, so it's not absurd that he would go to 8 this turn. But
he goes to 7.
Kiivii he's just reading the mind of his opponent. This man is at a different level than the average Keyforge player. He knows.
He knows. That's really impressive.
He knows, man. He knows. And he maybe he even predicts the unnatural selection. He doesn't want to commit more to the board. He's just on another level, Freddy.
Really impressive stuff.
Yeah. So we've got a mimicry here. Freddy, what does mimicry do for us right now if we decide to go untamed?
It
Can we
makes
miasma?
me a salty player,
We could
but
miasma. It makes Freddy a salty player. Yeah, Freddy's got
you can
some
miasma. You could
unfortunate
Eureka.
mimicry. You could definitely Eureka.
Is
Not a
that?
bad call. But what turn is that, right? You Eureka and then you maybe play unnatural selection and then reap with the Tintadlin.
Yeah, it's not a great option.
Yeah, I think we could see a Saurian turn coming up here.
I would be tempted to go Saurian here.
Even Logos wouldn't be too bad, right? You could shoot one of the shockworms, fight the other, and then reap with a candle unit or something.
Sure.
You probably want to play that cutthroat research. Your opponent's not going to go to 8 amber anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah. And the, on the one hand, when I look at this, I say, man, he chained himself holding that cutthroat research. That's tough. Ooh, interdimensional graft is nice there.
Yeah, you steal one.
That's great. Just unexpected value is always good to have. And maybe Kiivii's playing around that too. So
Yeah, there are multiple reasons not to reap high.
yeah, but he holds
He holds the IG. Interesting.
interdimensional graph. Okay.
Wow. Okay, that turn was lightning quick, guys. You might have missed it. We saw Eureka and the lab work to just reap, or excuse me, to archive everything. So don't blink, guys.
Wow.
This is how fast this deck can go. So for those who missed it, we had a Eureka played, gained some amber. We had a lab work to put a bunch of cards in the archive, and wow, Kiivii right up
Look
to
at
check,
that.
right up to check.
Look at that. He's got 2 Ronnies in the archives and another one in hand.
Yeah,
That is a great
disgusting.
spot to be in.
Freddie, listen, on our Discord, we see you probably on a weekly basis talking a little bit of smack about AOA. A little shit talk from Freddie. So, I just want to point to Oov the Usually Dirty as an example of what AOA can really do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is really showcasing the top end of AOA.
Yeah. But, actually, Kionerst getting some fortunate Tintadlin work done. He's going to discard one of those Ronnies out of the archives with Tintadlin's ability, fight, discard a random card from your opponent's archives.
Yep, and like we said, Tintadlin getting that value. Here definitely he had a little bit less of a choice of what he archived thanks to Eureka. It's a bit more random, and by a bit more I mean entirely. But he's still got a Ronnie in hand. He's got another one in his archive, so he's doing just fine. No reason to panic here if you're Kiivii, especially when you're up a key and you're threatening your second.
Right.
One question I have here is, should he have maybe pulled his archives? And I know that he wants to hold that Ronnie to get value, but he's got 3 cards in his archives, and his opponent has not shown Dysania yet.
Yeah,
so
that's actually a really good point. You've got to fear Dysania a little bit. Maybe he's saying, look, I have a little bit of risk aversion here. I'd rather him hit me with a Dysania than hit me with a really big interdimensional graft. And yeah, so he does play the interdimensional graft here. He's going to steal 2 with this.
Yep.
So yeah, that could be the consideration, Freddie. If only we could get into Kiivii's head.
It's certainly a possibility. And it's a tough call. I certainly can see arguments go either way. He's also got a Mars card in his archive, so if he had pulled the archives there to play out the Shadows cards, it means that he would have drawn one less card as well. So good arguments either way, I think. And we'll see that it does mean he's only going to lose 2 amber to Kionerst, and right. He'll be up 2 keys to 0. So hard to argue no matter how you look at it with how Kiivii's been playing this game.
Yeah. this is actually really impressive to me that Kiivii's been able to take this AOA deck. Well, let me put a little bit of a disclaimer on it. This is adaptive, right? So raw power level not as important as just being able to play Keyforge really well and knowing the game very well. But this AOA deck, taking it this far in the tournament, it doesn't have any of the hallmark AOA cards like Martian Generosity. We've seen some Grunt Buggy decks do really well out of AOA. It doesn't have any of those pieces. It's just got good old Ronnie. It's got some good old Logos archiving and some Amber Burst. So
Yep.
So just a traditional style of Keyforge deck out of AOA, something we're not really seeing a lot in the competitive community. So shout out to Kiivii for that one.
Absolutely. And man, he's forced into Saurian. Kionerst is to take his opponent off of check, pump up that key cost with Redder, but boy is he in trouble. This is looking like a pretty tough game to come back from, I think, if there's even a comeback mechanism at this point.
Yeah. Down 2 keys to none with your opponent threatening check is not really a place you want to be. That being said, this is a pretty scary Saurian board that Kionerst has assembled. So if there's anything that could do it, it might be this.
Certainly true. I would love to see a way to protect that Redder.
Yeah. We got some big Amber on Senator Strix. Eddie and Tao Tao is going to make his keys cost a lot.
Oh, but he's not even going to forge here. No, sorry, he's got Strix.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That Mars needs Amber, much less of a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to forge in the best way possible with Amber on creatures. Senator Strix, kind of, we saw the Calipigian Ideal upgrade. Senator Strix is a creature that does the same thing, right? You can spend Amber on him as if it were in your pool. So when he captures 3 Amber, guess what? You can use that to make a key.
And I love that he just went all in on putting Amber on Strix.
Yeah, you have to at this point.
Yeah. If you're gonna win this game, it's gonna be by pulling off these crazy things like piling Amber on Strix and spending it all. So great move there.
Yeah, just like that, Kionerst looks, it doesn't look as bad right now.
It doesn't, but it still looks pretty rough.
Yep.
Logos, he has enough archive to where that Eddie is going to let him take his opponent off of check between the Tao Tao and Eddie. Always nice. And he's got this huge board, so certainly some good options here for a follow-up turn. On top of that, Kiivii doesn't have a great way to really apply much pressure.
No, and that's the thing that I'm seeing the most is his Logos hand doesn't get him anywhere.
No. He has 2 helper bots and only 1 card to cheat out. So not even getting full value from the helper bots feels a little bad.
No.
We should say he's still assuming that Kionerst doesn't capture with the candle unit. Kiivii will still be at 6 Amber with 2 keys. He won't be check, but he'll be in a pretty okay spot. His opponent is not going to check this turn. He'll probably get to 5, maybe 4 if he uses the candle's action unit. The candle unit action, but he's still very much in control of this game, and shouldn't be feeling too bad. His Ronnies have all been reshuffled into his deck, so potential to draw into those as well.
Mm-hmm. So Candle Unit does a little bit of fighting here. Yep.
So I think he just wants to make sure that he's not going to lose the Eddie. Probably a smart call there.
Definitely a smart call. Eddie is one of your lifelines here.
Yep.
If you don't keep Eddie around, you're basically forced into Saurian for the rest of your life here.
Yep. Absolutely.
And the only turn that Kiivii can go, he just dumps all of his Logos creatures out.
Yep.
And then Little Nif gets played.
Little Nif. Yep.
Wow, 2 Ronnies. Freddy, what a draw.
Boy,
Ronnies are going to be so big here toward the end of the game.
that's just
Good old Ronald Rolex.
that's gross. That's gross. So much value there.
Yep.
Man. And now, if you're Kionerst, which way do you take this? I think I gotta.
You take this the way of the dinosaur, man. You have
If
to.
yeah.
You're gonna say Senator Strix. You're gonna have to carry all this amber. You're gonna reap with Senator Strix. You're gonna put some amber on it. You're gonna fight Legatus Raptor into something. You probably Pip actually. You probably want to kill that Pip first before you reap. I don't know, man. Like Mustik Murmook's good here too. Like it's a fine Untamed turn as well. Like Mustik Murmook makes your opponent harder to forge. You kill one of their
It
creatures.
is, but he doesn't get to check if he goes untamed. And I think that you have to get to check here. I don't see any way that you win this game if you're not forging next turn.
Yeah, you're right.
Even without knowing about those Ronnies, well, certainly if you know that the Ronnies are there, getting to check feels less important. But I think you try to bulk up Centurion Stenopius, stick Calpigian on him, and between him and Strix, try to get a forge off.
Yeah. And something that I'm sure you noticed, Freddy. Little Nif has to die here. Absolutely has to die. If for instance Little Nif were not to die and Kiivii were to take a Logos turn during his next turn, he could fight with the Helper Bot. It will die and it will steal one using Little Nif's abilities. So Little Nif a little bit different. It doesn't. Your creature does not have to survive a fight for it to trigger. So you can fight with the Helper Bot, fight with the Helper Bot, fight with the Smoko, fight with the Pip, steal 4.
Yep. And then fight with Titan Librarian.
And fighting with Titan Librarian, steal 5.
Steal 5.
Yeah.
Yep. You're 100% right. That's a great point. And certainly the fact that you can actually fight and have your creature die and steal. Oh, he does go untamed. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what he decides to kill with that Murmook.
I really hope for his sake that it's Little Nif.
Yeah. Let's see if he sees what we see here.
Yep. There's no other really great target anyways.
Titan Librarian is a consideration here.
Titan Librarian and Pip are the other two, yeah.
He sees it, he kills the Little Nif, so
He does it.
Heads up play.
Heads up play. And he draws into the key charge. Okay.
Wow.
So that's interesting. Now
Key charge is so huge here.
Now, if he gets one good Saurian turn, that's what he needs. He needs one good Saurian turn, and he needs to keep his Strix and whatever he puts Calpigian. Almost certainly Stenopius, I think, is where you put Calpigian. But wherever he puts it, he needs those two creatures to survive, and he needs to get to check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Freddy, I'm starting to think that you were right to talk shit about AOA decks. This is anybody's game. This is anybody's game.
He's running out of steam.
He is. He's absolutely running out of steam. This is what World Collide does best, man. You can forge 2 keys against the World's Collide. Sure, anybody can do it. But like, look at what do you do now? Like, where do you go? Your keys cost 9. They're gonna cost 12 when you reap with Red or Gallum. Like, it's just where do you go from here?
I think here. I think you gotta go.
You go Logos. You go Logos, and then you reap a ton. You know, play whatever cards in your hand. You're gonna draw. You're gonna draw in 4 cards, right? 1, 2, 3. Yep. Yeah. So you'll just see more. Maybe your third Ronnie. You know, who knows?
And here, I think you definitely archive Skeleton Key. Like, you don't give him a chance to knock the... Well, he's got Desania on the board, actually,
Right.
so not super critical.
Right.
He can kind of take it wherever he wants.
These players taking their time to think here. These turns are so critical. So he does go Logos. Yep. He takes his archive.
Oh,
interestingly
so he
enough.
can use the mother gun. I like it.
What's he gonna shoot for 1 here?
Good
Redder,
question.
Gallum, and then he's gonna fight it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good play. He's gonna fight with the Pip, to archive the Pip. Genius. Absolutely
like
genius.
Okay.
Oh, he's fighting more. He's fighting Hapsis. He wants that Amber. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. He goes up to 11. There's no redder.
Yeah, you know what, Freddy? I think that was the winning move there. I
think you're right.
Well, Tao Tao can archive more. Is there any other way for him to get cards into his archive? So he can archive 1 more card for sure. He can capture 1 with Candle Unit. But that gives him exactly what he needs. He'll be at his keys will cost 10. He'll be at 10 Amber. So Tao Tao's got to draw something. What's in the archives here? Nothing that will help.
And
Wow.
does he anything else in Logos? I don't. He could get another Tao Tao.
Yeah, or an information exchange would do the trick too.
Or an information exchange. Yep.
Um,
So you're right. Logos is the out.
Logos is out, I think, unless I'm missing something on the board here, which, is very unlikely to happen.
It's a pretty small board. There's not a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
He could use Thero Centurion twice. He would get 2 fights, but he'd go up to... He would still not have enough. He would still go up to 9. Yeah, Freddie, you said minutes ago you'd really like to see some protection on that Ritter Gallum.
Yep.
How important was that here, man?
And it hurts because he's got Tricerian Legionary in his archives, and I don't know if that was the first or the second card that he archived, but either way, it really hurts that didn't get down on the board. If you have that ward on Redder Gallum, this game is entirely different.
Yeah. He sees it. He goes Logos. Let's see what the Tao Tao shows us. Breathe the vapors, Freddy. What do we see? A cutthroat research!
Oh.
Oh my god!
Wow.
That is so perfect. And another Tao Tao, actually.
And a Tao Tao.
Wow.
And a Tao Tao.
Wow, that's absolutely
What?
game-changing.
Wow. What a draw.
Wow. And we're definitely going to see the archive of Key Charge here, you would think, right? You don't need Key Charge until you need Key Charge.
Right. Yeah. And you've got 2 more untamed creatures in there, so just start sticking. Yeah.
Oh my god. This is some top-level Key Forge, Freddy.
This is key forging for sure.
This is Key Forging.
Boy, he's gonna have to. Yeah, he's gonna have 4. No, he still doesn't have it though. 2 Ronnies and a miasma. That should put the game away.
You think so?
For Kiivii.
We'll see.
If he goes shadows, he'll steal 4. He'll make 1 more. Is there a way to come back from that?
Well, I'm not sure. We'll have to see what's going on.
Yeah. Boy,
Steal 4, his opponent won't forge.
this is one of the swingiest end games I've ever seen.
Yeah, wow. Down to the freaking wire, man. This is ridiculous. These players taking all 35 minutes of their round time.
Yep, an easy decision here to go shadows. The double Ronald. And the miasma.
Mm-hmm.
and he draws into Ronnie Nerf. That's just not fair.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
boy,
definitely not fair. Not all right. Mars needs Amber here. Could be clutch as well, especially with Mother Gun and a Mars creature in play.
definitely.
I see this. I see this slipping for Kionerst here. It's not.
Yeah,
It's is it over this turn actually?
it. I'm
Because information exchange will steal 2. Force him to go to 12.
capture one with candle unit.
That's 11. That's not enough.
It's not enough.
This might be the game.
I don't. He doesn't have anything in his archives that's going to bail him out. Plus, that would mess up the Eddy.
Right.
I think that's going to do it. It looks like, well, Logan, after all, AOA did something.
Yeah, that's right. Round of applause for AOA.
And I think Kionerst is just thinking through everything now, making sure he didn't miss anything. Certainly, if there is something, you don't want to think of it after you've already conceded and beat yourself up over it. So, making sure that the game really is over. But unless he's got something in his back pocket that I'm missing, it looks like indeed Kiivii will take game 1. But if this deck is anything, or this game I should say, is anything, any indication of how the rest of this matchup's going to go, I'm very excited to see game 2 and potentially game 3.
Mm-hmm.
The information exchange, we should see candle unit capture 1.
That's just not enough, Freddy.
It's not enough.
Unless you and I are both missing something here.
Reap, reap, reap.
That's a good game, man. Kiivii takes it. Wow.
11 is just enough to win.
Yes. What a crazy, crazy game.
Yeah. And what's really crazy is that I don't know if he quite had it, but Kionerst was really close to winning that game.
So close.
He just takes that next turn with key charge in hand and 3 untamed creatures down. That's a really close game.
Yeah, what a game. All right, so as you all know, we're going to be swapping decks here for our second game in the adaptive matchup between the Autocannons Team 3 and the Hamburg Atlanteans Team 2. That was the Hamburg Atlanteans number 2 player Kiivii taking the win there. Congratulations to him.
Really well played game on both sides.
Yeah, well.
You know, just really so far every game that we've gotten to cast has been really impressive back and forth.
Absolutely.
Even the moves that I don't know that I would have agreed with when I see them in hindsight, they're
almost always good.
Almost always better than what I would have done. So, you know, these players clearly understand their decks well. They understand how to play their decks, understand how counterplay works against their decks.
This is high-level
really
Keyforge, Freddy. This is what high-level Keyforge looks like.
It's wow. It's cool to get to experience it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Beautiful.
Definitely these players showing us why they have made it to the round of 8. This is adaptive short. Okay, players just figuring out
Yeah, a little workaround here.
how to do it.
Mm-hmm. And I hope y'all in the chat are enjoying these games as much as Freddy and I are. This is some outrageous Keyforge. I love to watch Keyforge like this, man. Sometimes you play Keyforge and you play against some decks that seem to kind of play themselves, and you get beat up a little bit, and it's a little rough. And then sometimes you play games like this, you see games like this, and you just witness the beauty that is Keyforge, and then all of the intricacies of the game. This is just why we love the game so much.
Absolutely. And both players with hands that look pretty tempting to keep.
Yeah, definitely. 4 Logos cards for Kionerst. What do you open with?
I think you open with Stim Rager.
Yeah,
yep.
he does.
And this is gonna hurt. He's gonna get hit by 2 Mustic Marmook procs with that Nature's Call, I think.
Yeah, you think so?
Or I don't know, maybe you Nature's Call it back to hand, because that's not a card you really want clogging up your hand. So right. I take it back. I think that's actually the better call. But no, it looks like he's just going to kill it off.
Yep.
Either way, not a bad way to do it. The important thing is keeping the creature off the board. And he draws into 4 Saurian cards, man. Kiivii off to a great start, but Kionerst, Igor with a helper bot.
Yeah, he's gonna kill all of these creatures.
Yeah,
if he wants to. That is, like, he doesn't necessarily even need to.
Nope.
Now, Freddy, I want to back it up a little bit. Do you think it was a mistake on Kiivii's part to not play out all 3 untamed creatures and return all 3 of them to get the maximum Nature's Call value, just to play them down again?
It's a really compelling point. Everyone knows that playing 5 or 6 creatures is better than playing 3.
Yes.
So, yeah, really missed an opportunity there with that Nature's Call to showboat a little bit. But, will that matter? He could have gotten into Kionerst's head a little bit, but
I think so.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes back to bite him.
There's a bit of a consideration for click equity here. These players clicking probably millions of times today. Or they don't want to be spending their clicks on worthless actions, right?
That's true. You've got to really think. Do I want to be clicking now, or do I want to
save those clicks?
Round of 4 or a finals match when I really need to be able to show a little bit harder?
Right.
So, as expected, we see the Logos turn from Kionerst and the follow-up Saurian from Kiivii. And one thing to mention is that he did decide to use his helper bot to play the throwing stars. Mm-hmm. Interesting decision. I like it a lot though, because he's got that Mars Needs Amber in deck.
Yep.
So that throwing stars just means that he's set up for that Mars Needs Amber turn whenever it happens. And I think it's a really good play.
Definitely.
Oh, Kiivii keeps drawing into these four card hands. He's just getting so much value in hand, and now he's got the board.
Yeah, I do think Kiivii's got a big advantage here, poised to take the game 2-0 here. But we're gonna see that Neutron Shark, I think.
That Neutron Shark can do a lot. Mm-hmm. Can do a lot here, and it's gonna have to. He's gonna need to dodge those Logos cards. Fortunately, he's played out so many that there probably aren't a lot left in the deck.
Yeah, discards that destroy them all. Keep it rolling.
That's fine.
Yep.
That destroyed them all is just going to kill a creature anyways, and so it means that now he doesn't lose that scientific hack. A lot of tough choices here, though. What do you kill?
Probably Paraguardian, yeah. Discards are Ronnie risk lots, not the card you want to be discarding. You want to see every single Ronnie that you can, but that's fine.
Absolutely.
He wants to keep this rolling, man. He wants everything on his opponent's board dead. He would trigger this many times. Discards the Archimedes, so that's the end of it. That's the end of it. Not that bad, actually. Not that bad, all things considered.
No, and he got rid of the Tintadlin, so his archives are safe for now. Well, safer. He's still got to worry about Desania, of course. And he gets the Amber back from Tantadlin. So in a good spot overall is Kionerst.
Yeah.
And we see the Untamed follow-up. So goes for Eureka. I like that play a lot. When you've only got the one Untamed card in hand anyways, go for the big Amber. Take control of the board. Yeah. Once again, we're seeing this really great back and forth. Just as soon as it seems like one player is establishing a foothold, we just see these great responses in return.
Mm-hmm. Kionerst opting to go shadows here. Kind of taking an inefficient turn here. What do you think about that, Freddie? So actually, we're really rewarded by a really fortunate draw.
Yeah. Boy, that's something you want to see for sure. Yeah. He's also now going to get a little value potentially out of the brainstem antenna. Another nice thing there is that it works well with exterminate, right?
Yeah, assuming that his opponent will have some creatures with 3 or
some creatures for him to kill, which he actually won't.
Yeah.
But without knowing that, you play to that value. It's certainly interesting to go for the 2-card hand instead of the 4-card turn, but like we said, that Mars needs Amber is just that's essentially one more that you're stealing now. If you can get the Amber off the creature, so some nice value there from that Shadow's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Kiivii draws the Eddy too. Boy, just building up that archives.
Yeah. Otherwise, without that Eddy, his opponent would be forging this turn. Not so much anymore.
Not so much, no.
Puts the Eddy behind a taunt creature. What a play.
Just great value there.
It's just good Keyforge, man. It's just good Keyforge. Drawing those Eddies when you need to. I mean, not to say that Kionerst hasn't seen any fortunate draws here. He ripped that Mars needs Amber when he's kind of playing for it, right? So
yeah,
Kionerst is going to have a great turn here, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And he can brainstem the Knuckle Bolton to damage another creature. So he's going to steal 3. Or I shouldn't say steal. He's going to capture 3 with Mars needs Amber if he does that. So he's got some plays here. The only question, do you sell out just putting as much damage on Tricerian as possible so you can get to the Eddy? Or do you play for that bigger Mars needs Amber? Or do you just reap? I think I fight the Kindle unit here, but I'm curious to see how Kionerst decides to play this. Interesting. He plays out Shockworm before the Brainstem antenna, so he doesn't plan to use it on Knuckles Bolton. I wonder if that was intentional or.
Yeah, I've got to wonder too. He's got this invasion portal in hand. Okay. Right, he's got the invasion portal in hand, so he's guaranteeing a Mars creature draw.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. There's only one Ronnie left in the deck at this point. 1 in the discard, 1 in hand means 1 left in the deck.
Right.
So he doesn't have to worry too much about missing those with the invasion portal.
This is a Mars turn next turn, isn't it?
I think you go Mars again, yeah. Yeah, that seems right to me.
Of course, considering what your opponent's doing, but looks like a Logos turn would be the call to me.
Nope, he's got the Saurian archives, and he decides to go that route.
Okay.
So he's got Redder, so I actually don't mind that. He can pump up that key cost, force his opponent to go big on Amber, and then follow up with a Cutthroat or an interdimensional graft. Realistically, probably both, and you'll just end up getting that Amber one way or another.
Yeah.
Calpigian onto Tricerian is really brutal too. There's no. Yep, and he gets rid of Knuckles Bolton, so there's really no good way to get rid of that Tricerian Legionary.
Yeah. Gets rid of Shockworm too with that failing strike.
Yep.
Man, Kiivii looking to take this 2-0. He's got the board.
He's got everything right now.
He's got everything. So last game we kind of saw this deck out of AOA, this Uv, the usually dirty, kind of run away with the game to start with, and then it started to lose steam, making it kind of tough to come back. But like it looks like Kionerst has already lost steam with this, and he doesn't even have a key forged yet. So I really feel as though that Kiivii is going to take this game.
Yeah, Mind Warper here just doesn't even feel like it's doing anything.
Yeah, don't put that on Tricerian Legionary or Senator Strix.
No, not great places to stick that Amber. I don't even know where you put it at this point. Potentially on the Eddy, but I think I like the Eddy or the Redder because it means that you're not gonna have that Amber to forge until you can forge for a cheaper cost. But it's really just a whole host of bad options, no matter how you look at it. And so Kiivii forging with all that Amber on his creatures. His opponent's at 7. He doesn't have an Archives, so right now his opponent's keys only cost 6, but he's about to reap with that Redder Gallon.
We're gonna keep it running, man. Just keep going, Saurian.
Yeah,
Let the dinosaurs take control of the
Why
game
not?
here. Yeah,
You
why
can
not?
fight Legatus into Mind Warper as much as you want. Every just value.
Yeah, you probably reap with Strix, Exalt, and then do it again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What is Kionerst gonna do to get rid of it? He's got so many bad options and no good ones. So he decides he wants to kill off the Mind Warper. Not a bad way to go.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Sure, just ensure that his opponent isn't going to be able to do anything with his board. Right? There's no Amber control on the board now. There's no board control except for a Mother Gun, which feels really bad when the only thing you have is Orbital Bombardment in your hand.
Right.
So, yeah. And looking at Ovu, this AOA deck does not have a board wipe. The closest thing it has is a Neutron Shark. We've already seen that.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be really tough now to come back, I think.
Yeah, Ronnie's going to start to fight his way back into the game here. It's a sad state of affairs where Ronnie is just not good at all.
No. Hey, but his Ronnie is elusive, so
True that.
hard to argue when you've got an elusive creature.
Mm-hmm. He redrew into that Mars needs Amber, which will be good here.
It will, but capturing one onto Tricerian Legionary doesn't exactly
right.
that much better.
Good point. Good point. But it is his own Amber, right? So it's not like
It is, and
it's going nowhere.
He has a lot of board control now. He has 4 Mars cards with a Mother Gun down, and I think in his archives, he's got Orbital Bombardment. So
okay,
do a lot of damage here with Mars.
Mm-hmm. Game's not over yet, folks.
Exterminate lets him do nothing. Okay. But even so, he's in not a bad spot. Mother Gun plus orbital bombardment with Mars Needs Amber is a nice combo.
Right, you'll be able to get rid of that Redder Gallon for sure. That'd be
Yep.
my number one target, and probably the Raptor too.
Well, but I'm thinking you can also just put a bunch of damage on everything to capture Amber everywhere.
That's a good play too, actually.
So the thing is, he's got enough Mars that he can do both, right? Between Mother Gun and Orbital Bombardment, he has 4 cards in hand. He has 1 in his archives. He'll have another one with Invasion Portal. So he'll have 6 Mars cards, which means he can do 18 damage. Sorry, it'll be
12.
Orbital Bombardment's 2, isn't it?
Yeah, so with 6 Mars cards, including actually it'll only do 10, so you'll have to
That'll
play
be
the
10,
Orbital
yeah.
Bombardment. Yeah,
16. So he'll
do 10 if my math is correct, right?
do 10 with that, and then he'll do 6 more with Mother Gun.
Yep.
But that's only one creature. We should point out.
Yeah. So that 6 probably goes on to like Thera Centurion.
Actually, no. I think you play out Mars Needs Amber first, and then you kill off Tricerian with it.
Okay. You will be able to kill the Caliphasian Ideal with Destroy Them All.
That's a good point. But I think, well, man,
The best part of all of this is that it doesn't matter to you or I. So
it doesn't matter. We can sit here and theorycraft till we're blue in the face. But
yeah, let's see what Kionerst does. Yeah.
I think we're going to be waiting a little while for him to make this turn because there are just so many choices now.
Yeah. The permutations are just absolutely endless. Like you can do, and Orbital Bombardment's one of those weird ones where you have to do it in instances of 2.
Yep. Definitely. And something else to note is that he's only got 5 Amber, right? And there are 4 damaged creatures on the board right now.
Good point.
So you only need to damage 1 more creature.
So you probably Mother Gun that Thera Centurion, almost kill it, and then you finish it off with an Orbital Bombardment strike.
I like that. Yep. Tricerian will only take 2 instances. Nope, he kills off Strix. Okay.
Fine choice. Like Strix is a big problem.
Absolutely. See, I think the next thing to do here is trigger Invasion Portal.
Yeah, you would think so. You want to get as many Mars cards in your hand as you can before you do Orbital Bombardment.
Right. The only question is, do you do Orbital Bombardment or Mars Needs Amber first? Because if you do Mars Needs Amber first, you're capturing 4 of the 5. Nope, he goes with Orbital Bombardment. But if you do go Mars Needs Amber first, you can get a lot of that Amber back this turn. That said, actually, this is the right way to do it. This is definitely the right way to do it. Especially since we know that Kiivii has that interdimensional graft in hand.
Right.
Save that Amber for later. I like it.
Okay, so he kills off the Redder Gallum, spreads out some damage.
Certainly a good call there.
Yeah. Mars needs Amber. They need it bad. So they're just going to take all of Kiivii's.
Yeah, and interesting, he decided to spread that damage out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my concern here is how are you going to kill those creatures? Like, what board control options do you have? You have Neutron Shock.
Right.
I
totally agree.
Yeah, maybe Kionerst is looking at Invasion Portal, and the reason he didn't use it is that he really wants to draw that Neutron Shark or some other combination of board control cards here. He doesn't want to risk discarding them just because he evaluates those cards to be so important.
I certainly think that that's a possibility. It's a surprising one, and he plays exterminate and has to kill his own Lamindra.
And little Nif. Yeah, so he says that was a misclick, unfortunately.
Oh boy.
A little bit of a hiccup there for Kionerst.
I don't actually... Do you know what the policy is on misclicks in this tournament?
I'm not 100% sure. I hope the players know. Sorry, no takebacks out of Kiivii.
No takebacks, yeah.
That's fair. You know, those are the rules.
Yeah.
This is high level Keyforge, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Mistakes like that, you have to own up to them. That being said, it's not the end of the world. He loses some Shadows creatures that might not have made it anyway.
Yep. Destroy them all feels really good here.
Yeah.
The question is, what creature does he kill? Is he worried about interdimensional graft?
Yeah, if you fear interdimensional graft, you kill the Logos creatures to make his Logos turns as bad as possible.
Yeah.
So he did. He killed the Candle unit. He killed Calipigian Ideal, and Anomaly Exploiter.
And I like that. It is one more amber for his opponent with interdimensional graft than if he'd killed Sanitation Engineer or Hapsis. But Candle Unit is such an impactful card that I think that's a really good call.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that Mars Needs Amber really could not have come at a better time.
No, definitely not.
You know, just as soon as we were ready to say that Kiivii's going to run away with this game, it's suddenly anyone's game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Kiivii, I certainly like his position more, but Kionerst does not have a bad follow-up here with an Igor Helperbot combo, you know, that we've seen already. Can really let you dig and find whatever card you need to make things happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can hit a Neutron Shark with Igor. There's so many possibilities here.
Yeah, let's just hope that Eureka doesn't swing some variance in favor of Kiivii by archiving either of those cards.
Do you discard Eureka here, do you think?
I feel as though you play it.
Man.
It's your objective here is to forge keys, right? You need that amber.
I think you're right. But it's man, it's tough.
It's feast or famine. Oh, Kiivii just doing it all. Hapsis draws him into a Tau Vapors.
Wow.
He is living the dream.
And he pulls Dysania.
Dysania, a little bit awkward here. You know, it would be interesting if Kiivii were to hold on to that. Because he's got a ton of archiving for Kionerst.
That would really take some next level.
That would be some next level stuff, man.
To hold on to Dysania.
Yeah.
Oh, he decides to archive it. Interesting.
Not a bad call at all.
Not a bad call, yeah. Exactly.
Interdimensional graft here, just devastating. It's gonna put Kiivii into check.
Love that Sanitation Engineer.
Alright, let's see if Kionerst is willing to throw caution to the wind. He doesn't. He does not play the Eureka. He finds it too risky.
I think that was the right call personally. I think that here you need to try to find something to take your opponent off a check. Hope you can get either the Ronnie or the Neutron Shark with Igor, and he does get the Ronnie, so keeps things. He archives Eureka. I like that play. I like that play. He draws into Miasma with another Ronnie. He's so, yeah.
Game's not over.
Game is not over.
He's got more than a key's worth of amber on his opponent's creatures, so that neutron shark here can be huge.
Yup.
Interesting to see. We'll see if Kiivii decides to start fighting these creatures to reduce the damage that the neutron shark will do. Right? These creatures do nothing when they're in play. They reap every now and then, but they're not threats, right? But if Kiivii sees this neutron shark coming up, and it is coming up, he might say, I'm going to reduce the damage that you can do. I'm going to start fighting your creatures. Especially with stuff like Legatus Raptor, right? Where the fight it costs almost nothing.
Yep. And he goes Logos here.
It's going to hit that Eureka.
Value out of that
yeah. A little bit of value, yeah. It's, Kiivii might have thought this is a really important card for him to archive. Eureka, not necessarily the most important card in the matchup. So, Dysania, getting a little bit of amber there, but not stopping Kionerst from doing what he wants to do with his deck.
Nope. And it's another one of those, I could certainly see that being that next level play where it's, I don't need this card. I don't care if I lose it, but it's nice to have. So that's what goes in the archives versus, I don't know, Mind Warper could be a little more impactful since you have that Brainstem Antenna in this deck. Maybe you want to make sure that it stays safe in your hand.
Yep.
Comparison.
Could be a million different things, and there probably are a million different things going on in these guys' heads right now.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
This is a Shadow's turn, right? Yep, it is a Shadow's turn. We're gonna see Ronnie come into play. We're gonna see a
Miasma. Like, give me that value. Give me that value.
Yep. That being said, he's run out of Ronnies, right? He's got no more Ronnies left. How is he going to stop his opponent from forging 2 keys in a row here?
That's a hard question to answer, especially when his opponent's got the redder. Just slow things down even more.
Mm-hmm.
He's not threatening check, so Kiivii can take the turn to go untamed if he wants. Just dump out his hand.
Yep.
Mustic Murmook, we talked about how Neutron Shark is a way back in this. If you go Mustic Murmook, that gives you a lot of options.
Yeah.
In terms of getting rid of creatures along with Fangtooth. So, Fangtooth gets rid of something. Yeah, he kills the Ronnie. The Fangtooth will probably get rid of, if you want to fight, you fight into Helper Bot, and then you use Fangtooth to get rid of one of the 2 power creatures, I think.
Yeah, I'm not even sure you care about fighting here.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. And
what a disgusting hand. Oh, my. That is something else, man.
That's... And that Phalanx Strike is just gratuitous at this point,
Yeah, really? Do you need that?
That is the definition of overkill. So what can Kionerst do? He can play some Logos cards and pray that he can hold on somehow, I guess.
The Neutron Shark shows up. I think it's going to be a little too late here, though.
I think you're probably right. Here's something. How many Logos cards does he have left in his deck? So he's got 6 on board or in hand, and he's got 4 in the discard. So it looks like
2 out of 7 are Logos
there's
cards?
2, yeah. Which, absolute best case, that means he gets 6 procs with Neutron Shark. Probably less than that, though.
Right.
He does have the Scientifical Hack with Mother Gun. So he can... And Invasion Portal, actually. So here's something. He could Scientifical Hack, use the Invasion Portal to go through the deck. Oh, you know what? No, that he doesn't want to do that because
I
that'll...
wouldn't think so.
It'll even faster. Boy. And meanwhile, Kiivii building up such a big board that you could have no Logos cards left in the deck and it still wouldn't even matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Such a big board that he's introducing the scroll bar to my screen here.
Yeah.
Kills all the creatures. That Neutron Shark does almost nothing.
Jeez. And boy, all that Kionerst can do is go Shadows and steal one.
But then guess what? Information Exchange fires back, steals 4.
That's what you really need right here.
Right.
Exchange to seal the game.
Right.
But I mean,
Freddy, I feel like I'm ready to call it. I feel like I'm ready to call it here. This is game. It has to be, right?
I think so. He's also got Mind Warper with a Brainstem antenna. He goes Logos?
He must have something in his archives. No, he doesn't.
No.
This is game, right?
About to play it out. Yeah. No, he can use Skeleton Key.
Freddy, this is game one way or another actually, because there's 3 Amber on the Senator Strix.
Ah, okay.
Ender Blast wouldn't have saved him, unfortunately. So he's playing out his last turn here, but that will be game.
Yeah, good catch on that Strix.
Or maybe, oh no, excuse me.
Kill it with Neutron Shark.
Yeah. Yeah, the game is not over.
Game is somehow still not over.
Yeah.
Boy. Oh, but he loses Invasion Portal with the Neutron Shark.
I don't think that's really a big loss, but the biggest problem here is he immediately flipped the Logos card with that Neutron Shark.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
I'm not sure that having a couple more Neutron Shark hits would have taken the game back, though, at this point.
No, I don't...
You know what? Game is actually over. He's got a key charge here.
Yeah, okay. So...
Mimicry to make him play Miasma, and that's a key charge for the victory.
All right.
Kiivii coming out as the dominant player twice in a row. He doesn't care what deck he has, man. He's gonna win.
He's gonna win.
Well done.
And here's where we get to see AOA do AOA things, which is to say, not a whole.
Freddy.
No, it's I think this shows one of the strengths of Worlds Collide over AOA, which is that Worlds Collide seems to more consistently play out hands, especially when you have a Worlds Collide with Logos in it. You can play out hands and get value no matter what.
Yeah.
AOA, you have some of these cool combos, but it's just a little bit less consistent, a little bit less of a top end, and we see how that played out in these 2 games.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree. Very well played by both players. Now I feel as though they have finished their games pretty early. Let's take a look at the bracket and see where we are.
So it looks like one semifinals has already been decided.
Wow.
That was really fast. I felt like we had a pretty quick game.
Yeah, but 3 quick games apparently from a couple of the teams here.
One half of the bracket completely done, the other half with no games input yet. So,
yeah, looks like the
who we'll be seeing next.
The Hamburg Atlanteans team number 1 has been knocked out, Freddie. So we only have one more Atlantean in the field here.
Oh boy. Well,
Excuse me, is SAS a? Oh, so it's half U.S., half Poland. Where are the U.S. teams at, man? The Utah Vapors are a U.S. team. I would guess they're from Utah, right? Utah?
yeah, they've got to be. That's got to be it.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting. So let's see if they can take down the undefeated team Da Vinci and represent for the United States. Otherwise, there's only half the United States team left. So, come on, guys, let's pull our weight here. This is a little disappointing from the United States.
it's you know, being from the U.S. I know that we have a lot of just phenomenal teams and phenomenal players here, but this tournament really proving that Keyforge is an international game, and
Yeah.
the U.S. is far from the only
Yeah.
scene where we have these top level players, and you know, we've seen that time and time again in our games as well.
Yeah. Just another fish in a very big pond.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, guys, we're gonna have to wait a little bit for the next round. So Freddie and I are gonna take a short break here. I'll leave you with a little bit of music. We'll come back ready to cast the semifinals. We're gonna be casting the Jargogles versus SAS. So stick around, guys. We'll be back in a minute.